Hi everybody, welcome back to Modern Moves Dance. I'm CoCo Loop. Today I wanted to do another stretching video for you, this time looking at the upper body, specifically the chest, a little bit of shoulders. So first we'll look at just opening up the chest. And you can do really active stretches for this. I prefer passive ones that really focus on breathing. So if you don't have a bolster, you can roll up a blanket or a thick towel or even use just a regular pillow. So I lay mine down on the floor and then I put my pelvis up against, I might have to sit up on it depending on where I'm actually kind of feeling the most opening happening in my chest. So what we're looking at is the pectoral muscles that run from the sternum out across the shoulder and hook in the shoulder joint. So I'm going to lay down, and depending on how your neck feels, you can either let the pillow kind of hit in the back of the neck, or you want your full skull on the pillow or on the bolster. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to relax. So what this is doing is kind of creating a little bit of pressure up through the center of the torso, up through the spinal column, and letting the pecs relax and lengthen and sort of hang and melt off toward the floor. So this might not seem like a lot, but if you actually start to focus on your breath, you can increase the expansion of the muscles and then gently let them come back into relaxation. So we're just going to take an inhale and then exhale. And you might want to wiggle a little bit just to make sure that you're not holding any tension in the arms or in the shoulders, like having them roll forward, right? We want to feel like the shoulders are rolled out and back. Inhale. And then exhale. Like I said, this might feel like pretty obvious and straightforward, but if you give yourself some time, you can really start to feel the tension kind of like drain out of the front wall of the chest. You can stay here as long as you like. For the purposes of this video, we won't stay here that long, but that's just a great way to start to invite openness in the chest wall. And once you get, fairly open, the shoulders will actually start to open up a little bit too. You can increase the height of your support and really start to like almost create a dome out of the chest wall. Another one, and this is actually kind of a byproduct of another stretch, and one I did not include in the hip flexor stretch, so we're kind of getting a 2-for-1 here, is doing a bridge pose from yoga. So what we do is we lay down here, we plant the feet fairly close to the tail, and then we kind of walk our shoulders down. And what we're going to do is gently lift or float the pelvis up. Once again, here we are in the hip flexor stretch, right? But what it can do is it can give you the opportunity to walk the shoulders down and back, and then press up through the hips and slightly tuck the chin. And you can feel high up in the ab wall, right under the pecs, you can start to feel that open up. And you're also getting a nice deep opening in the shoulders here and the back of the neck. You can stay here and breathe in and then out. And then slowly come down from this. And you'll want to come down from the top of the spine and just start to lay the spine down on the floor. vertebra by vertebra until the pelvis is down. And you can do a series of those, however many you like, and hold them for as long as you like. One caution is that while you're in the active bridge pose, you don't want to turn your head side to side. Okay, there's a lot of pressure in the back of the neck and in the cervical spine in that pose, and we don't want to be turning the head while we're in the pose. So make sure you come all the way down and then turn side to side. Okay, that's great. All right, so another thing that you can do to open up the chest and the shoulder is find a wall to do the next stretch. I don't have a wall space that doesn't have windows or art or some kind of object onto it, or on it. So I use another kind of surface to do this. So what I'm going to do is kind of show you a modification. So on a wall, I can't show you, you would put your body on the wall and then turn the torso away, right? And leave the arm on the wall and start to try to lengthen the arm down the wall as you move the torso away. Okay, so I get at this either on a sofa or like on the floor. So I'll just lay my body on a surface and then turn my head and start to roll my body up and open the front of the shoulder. This also gives me a cushion. If you do it on the floor. Okay. And so I can lay down here and just start to turn my body away. So lots of options there depending on, your environment, what your space will kind of allow you to do up against the wall, but easy to grab some time on the floor, opening up the front of that shoulder joint. Now, obviously, like I say in all of our stretching videos, I'm not showing you equal time on each side for each stretch, but you definitely want to do that. Always stretch. Once you do one side, move to the other side and give the equal amount of time to that other side. Okay, so now let's look at the back of the shoulder. I love this one because it kind of gets at the whole shoulder joint and under the scapula, which is the bone on the back on your back, and the chest. But I really love it because I feel it underneath my scapula and across the back of the shoulder. So a lot of these things are done laying down on the floor, which is kind of nice, especially if you've had a really hard practice, a really rigorous practice. Or you're getting ready to do a rigorous practice. This is a great way to just prepare. So what I do is I lay down on the floor, okay, and I take one of my arms and I just start to let it circle down. And I'm going to bring it across the center line of the body, and I'm going to let it pull me across till I'm up on the side of my body. And then I reach that arm past the other arm. I can also feel this down my QL into my SI joint. I have very sensitive SI joints, so this feels like a good stretch. And I'm leaving my leg long, so it acts as a counter pull. And then I just let the fingertips continue to circle over my head. And now I can start to feel the latissimus dorsi stretch here. And then as I open, I get this wonderful long stretch and open armpit through the pecs again. And then you can reverse that. Let your body roll over onto its side. Reach past this base arm. Coming back onto the back. And then other side. All the way across, maybe pausing in this little twisted shape, this spiral shape, letting that top arm really reach. You feel the stretch across the latissimus dorsi and the rhomboids, and then coming through, opening the armpit, Nice long stretch there as I come through the side of the body. A kind of cousin stretch of that is to just simply take the arms into a T position and peel the arms off, peel the arm off the floor and let it guide right over the chest until you get into this twisted shape, and then come back. So this is a little bit of an active stretch. Peel off. As soon as the shoulder comes up, it starts to peel the side of this side of the body off the floor, and I just leave this heel in the ground. And then finally the toe and the fingertips are kind of at opposite ends of this stretch, and then I come across. Okay. And then, of course, we have the standard kind of athletic stretches for the shoulders and chest and upper back. So we can just take the arms up above the head and fold one so that the hand is kind of here at the neck, and then reach up with the other arm and grab the elbow and just gently try to pull the elbow to the center line of the body. Again, you'll want to make sure that the belly button is relaxed into the core of the body and that we're not in this hyper arched position. You can do this standing. Here. And then switch sides. Always breathing, always staying calm. And the other one is to bring the arms into the T position. This might get over my microphone. And then grab the back of the humerus bone and then just gently guide the elbow across the center line of the body, trying to let the shoulder relax down and not let it inch up toward the ear. And then the other side. My shoulder wants to go up, so I ask it to go down. And then the last one, you can just take the hands behind the body and make a basket by interweaving the hands, and then letting the knuckles drop down to the floor. You can leave your arms really close to the body here, just coaxing the shoulders open. And then as you feel comfortable, you can start to guide the hands up, floating up, 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 up. As you breathe, you might get a little bit more. And then changing the grip. So having one index in front and then changing the other index finger in front, and then repeating that stretch. If you're really, really flexible and you don't feel this at all, and your arms are already, I'm not, right? I have very little shoulder mobility to the back. So, but if you've got this and your arms are already up behind your body at shoulder level, you probably may not need to do any shoulder mobility stretches. But if you're feeling like you want a little bit more, you can always hinge at the hips and let the arms go, and then let gravity help you pull those shoulders open a little bit more, and breathe into that. All right. So those are some introductory stretches to getting the shoulder more open and mobile, and also opening the chest and the upper back and the surrounding muscles to allow for that shoulder, that arm to move freely, with the shoulder joint being able to kind of glide and groove smoothly and easily, and with no pain, so or struggle. So the other thing that I'll say is that anytime you're dealing with the shoulder joint, you want to be very careful. It's got a ton of moving parts in it, and some of the tissues can tear fairly easily. So anytime you're doing any of this, make sure that you've done some mobility exercises before, gotten blood flow and warmth into the shoulder joint and the surrounding muscles, and also that you take anything you do with a shoulder stretch or a chest stretch very slowly with lots of breath and lots of awareness so that you don't go into something too fast and tweak or hurt yourself. So the shoulders, the knees, they're very good at telling you what is too much. So pay attention to that. Don't be too ambitious when you are trying to lengthen and open these joints. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, remember to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And I hope you're having a great day. We'll see you next time.